Welcome, welcome, welcome. Part of our continuing series where we talk to reporters, writers, professors, anybody on the left, anybody on the right, as long as they can think intelligently and provide some useful insight into the topic of political polarization. We want to bring it to you. Now, a lot of times the professors we reach out to who are doing studies in political polarization and are experts in the field are very busy. And so they don't have a lot of time, and we appreciate whatever time they can give. With us today, we were able to get one question answered by Carrie J. Boden. She's a professor of organization, workforce, and leadership studies at Texas State University. She wrote this article, Political Polarization, Misinformation, and Media Literacy, out of Texas State University with other people. Today's college students grow up with digital news media and social media readily available on their smartphones. As a result, students are likely to use their smartphones to access the news through social media where partisan misinformation is easily spread. Efforts to combat the spread of misinformation on social media are being explored on several fronts, including media literacy programs. A lot of interviews we've done here about that. While media literacy is not a cure-all for the problems posed by misinformation, it is helpful for instructors to understand how adept U.S. college students are at assessing the credibility of the news on their phones and the influence that political polarization has on the students' news consumption. The study addresses how 206 undergraduate students at regional universities in the Southwestern United States interact with social media, consume the news, and determine which news articles to believe. That was the research. This is a little bit about the background of the professor. She was got her PhD from Kansas State University. She also got a master's of fine arts from Wichita State and a bachelor's from Bethel College, now teaching at Texas State University. She also taught at the University of Arkansas Little Rock and at Friends University before that. Let's give it a second. So I just want to ask you one question. Do you see any reason that political polarization due to misinformation will naturally calm down in the future? Again, I'm not an expert in this field. We had talked for 20 minutes on the phone before. As a citizen, I can say that I see reasons for hope. Groups like Braver Angels are encouraging civil discourse, as are authors such as Sally Kahn and Kirsten Powers. It is my understanding from reading work by Jonathan Hari and others that the very algorithms that social media are built upon are designed to be addictive, which also means inciting outrage. So this is part of the algorithms. Social media has algorithms designed to make us angry at each other, and that's what's causing polarization. And visceral responses. Various social media apps are also designed to offer limitless access, endless scrolling, and to be fast, so people don't have the time or the bandwidth to truly discern and digest the information they are taking on. So will polarization calm down in the future? It could. But this would comprise both individuals and systemic efforts. Individuals would need to first recognize overconsumption of media and political polarization as problems before they are able to consciously curtail their exposure. At the same time, significant redesign of algorithms, what is selected for people to see, as well as addictive attributes needed to be reimagined and redesigned. I'm not sure that can be legislated into being. I think tech companies need to choose it. And so what she's saying is, and this is what we've seen from a lot of people, the public has to become better at the media they're choosing to consume. You have to have the consumer base change. You can't necessarily change the corporations. We've had a couple professors say that. At the same time, a lot of the media and other professors are saying, well, if you could just change the social media algorithms, then we could stop being so polarized. But the professor here is bringing up a point I routinely bring up. Why would tech companies who are making record level profits because of the algorithms? Remember, social media apps came out, they weren't super aggressive at making everybody angry, and then they eventually evolved to that. Because it made the companies less money? No, because it made the companies ridiculously more money. So why would tech companies go against the thing that brought them record profits more than anything else they could do? And she's saying, I don't think tech companies will choose it. And I'm not sure it can be legislated into being. You can't legislate the public to have a different consumption desire. And it may be difficult to legislate tech companies to do something that's directly against their financial interest. So, good response. It could be, but it requires the public to grow up and become more mature in the media they're consuming, and it requires the media companies to be less aggressive in their polarizing algorithms. That's from Professor Boden. Appreciate her response. And I want to say thank you for your time. We'll be back with a little bit more.